You know, it doesn't hurt us to help one more person.
Knowledge is key. And if you're going to get all this knowledge for nothing except your time and your talent, you'd be crazy not to take advantage of that opportunity.
Oh,
If someone can, but they're not willing to invest in their hotel room, their gas, and their food when they're not at the conference, if they're not willing to make that ultra small investment in themselves that's given freely by the people who've been cut, burned, bled, beaten. We've been through it, and we're trying to save you from having to have those bruises and wounds. And if you're not willing to invest that small amount in your own career, you will never be a good investment to anyone else. So just keep singing to your mom at the kitchen table and let her tell you how amazing you are. If not, and you're wanting to get serious about getting serious, come stand with the people who've been down the road of the kings, because you've got to be invited to this one, and you've got to prove you can survive to leave. That's how this world works. It's dog eat dog. And we're trying to save people from some of the heartache, but it's not meant for everybody. So you've got to be willing to invest in yourself. And if you're trying to stand, if you're trying to swim the last half of that river, there are people who will reach for you, and we can pick you up higher than you've ever been lifted up before. But you've got to start with standing on your own and investing the beginning of the rest of your life. You got to invest in that. And that's what Springboard is all about.
what he said.
Yeah, I was fitting to say that's straight up. So switching gears a little bit.
The one thing I'd say at the end of that is one of the sayings I really like is there's this Asian saying, you will find no sane men on the top of mountains. You got to have a little bit of crazy. You got to have a little bit of belief. If you don't have that, if you really in your heart of hearts don't believe that you belong there, perhaps you don't.
What if you've been on a bunch of mountains? You extra crazy.
Yeah. Well, that definitely falls for you, you know. But yeah, it does take, like, I've seen people that weren't very talented but were delusional. Like, don't tell me Madonna's the best singer, that Taylor Swift's the best singer. They're not. But you want to talk about tenacious, the things that they, walk over broken glass, have faith in yourself. Yeah, you gotta, they call it a leap of faith for a reason. And so that, we can't instill that in you. If you're delusional, come on down. We got some friends for you.
It is exactly what it says. It's a springboard to something bigger than you probably ever dreamed of, man. What else does Barry Coffing got going on, man?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm about to do as soon as I get off with you guys. I have a really extensive internship program, and we train obviously music supervisors and stuff like that. But we're about to start a new thing. I'm not going to put what it's out there, but a couple companies like Fox and Warner Bros. Are behind it. And they're basically putting some money in, and not a lot of money, like 150 grand or whatever, to generate movies at a very rapid pace for the people that come out of these film schools to be able to get the experience. Because right now, I get a lot of our interns that have paid 100 grand to go to a really fancy school, and they're not ready to employ yet because no one's going to hire you as a music supervisor if you've never done it. So. What we do with our internship program is a little bit like the moment of truth. If I'm working on a movie and they don't have very much money, or in the case of this, they have no money, I'm going, okay, I'm going to help you supervise your movie, but my students get to work on it. It's a teaching hospital. So 5 of my students are going to do a reel a piece, and they're going to supervise it and get the credits. And so we're about to start that, and this is crazy. We're going to do this entire movie in less than 2 weeks. So it's like the Harvey Korman, I brought in some friends of mine for Post Sound, Peggy Rulich, and she did all the Walker Texas Rangers. And those things, man, they would do a weekly show. It's 50-minute show, 48 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We have 1 week, and you can't miss a deadline. So they might as well know what the truth is. You can't be sick on the show. I got a sore throat. Yeah, take a shot of this. We're going to lose $100,000 if you can't sing tonight, Adele. There's a whole quiet group of doctors, man, that you could be bleeding, profusely from your throat, and they'll have you singing like a bird that night. I'm telling you, man, it's like, and these are the stories that we talk about. There's the things that and the other thing too is there is a gray market marketing thing. There are people, you want to be in Rolling Stone? Let me show you how.
To your point, when you're sick, people, that's one thing that so many of the startups that made their career on TikTok don't understand. People just paid $300, $500, $600 for a ticket. They don't care if I don't feel good. I'm supposed to be the party guy. I've had a 60,000 plus crowd out there, and I'm supposed to open it and kick the party off. And I got to come out roaring with 103-degree fever, and I'm seeing in colors. And that's what was left after the pop-up custom physician couldn't get me right. That was what was still the current condition. And there's a no, I can't. You don't have that option. You got 52 people, part of your road crew, light crew, sound crew, merch crew, the band, everybody. They don't get to pay their light bill if I have a cough due to cold. So I don't have a choice. I got to turn and burn and get out there and hope I won't die before we get done with the encore. That's literally it. It's not, and that's what you want to be, that guy. Or that girl, that's what you got to be willing to be, because you're the representative and the face for all of those people, and the face of the promoters, and the face. You're the weakest link in the chain if you fall, and the chain's only that strong. So the opening act there, you remember that opening act that died? That might make it a memorable show, but you got to hold it together, and that's a different culture than what's pushed so much now. It's about convenience. People, now we live in a society where they think it's hard and difficult and asking too much to get them to hit a heart on a post or a free subscribe on a YouTube channel. So that's why it's so important to go to these things with Barry and his team, because you guys, if you really want to do this, you do it, or you're going to be burnt to ash on takeoff.
Well, I remember being, even before that, when I was doing regular gigs, I had a thing we were doing at this place called the Meridian. It was like 300 people. It was packed. I had 104 fever and I was throwing up. So I got on stage. I had a bag on the side. I said, if I start to throw up, you guys go into this. I'm going to walk off here and throw up. I'll be back, before the end of the song. Like, that's the level that you have to be at. And I know people in Beyonce's camp. She came off the road after one of those 18 months, and it took her 6 months to be a regular person. No one was dressing her. No one told her what to eat. Is, you give up your life. My friends that do those tours, they take their furniture and they put it in a storage place for the next year. They go, here you go. This is, I had friends that were on the Michael Jackson tour. They had changed their entire lives, bought houses, sold houses, everything. When he died, the number of people whose lives, obviously his life was certainly altered, but it was, when you do those things, it's not 50 people, it's 100, it's 200 people who's had plans for 18 months. And
I wasn't counting the accountants and all.
I'm just talking about those bigger ones. Yeah, they'll have 100 trucks.
Mm-hmm.
A Beyonce, a Taylor Swift, 100 semis.
Yeah, I was the opener. Just full disclosure. But when you're talking 50 guys, that's kind of making it for most of us. Dude, I've had to your point, I've had the trash can behind the drum riser and room on the stage to be able to walk behind it while they're taking a solo. Yep. To exorcise the demons and and try to walk around chugging Pedialyte or whatever they tossed me up from the back of the stage. And then to the other thing, I remember, I haven't ever told it. I was, after I came off and took over all my bills again, paying all my bills, I literally remember sitting there being stumped, staring at a personal check. I needed to have somebody make sure I'd signed everything and done everything right.
I used to know how to do this. Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't paid my own damn electric bill since Jesus was in office and Moby was a minnow. I was just sitting there thinking, holy crap, and that's stupid. And that stuff you take for granted, but you're busy earning everybody's income and they're taking care of the day-to-day stuff like that. And you forget. You just do it just because it's not your reality anymore until you step back down into reality. That's wild.
Yep.
So of all the things you're doing for independent artists, there's still another area that we have not touched on. It is a streaming platform.
Good job, Rob. Rob's keeping us honest here. I see why you got him. Yeah, so my big dream I've been working on, embarrassingly, for almost at least 15 years, my own vision of a music discovery site. Originally I called it Indie Safari. Like if you're hunting for new music, I tried to put in every single thing, every way that we discover new music. Whether it's a friend told me, I read about it in an article, there was a chart, there was a this, I heard it on the radio, it was on a TV show, on a podcast. I wanted all of those discovery things put in one place and enhanced. And here we are, 15 years later, and I'm 90% done. And we're basically raising the last $500,000, and we will have the beta version of this ready to go. I'm trying to have it ready to go by Nashville.
Explain to the folks the difference, as far as for indie folks, the difference between this platform and Spotify, as far as their payout. Talk about that scale.
So, yeah, because I'm into the pitching for money business thing, 84%, okay, so give you the idea of our marketplace. Recorded music is about $30 billion a year. 84% of it is streaming. So there's no money in streaming. There's over 20 billion a year in streaming. We're just not getting treated fair. And we could do a whole podcast on how they're raping us. Everybody can feel it. The details really don't matter, But long story short, on Spotify in particular, because of the deals that the majors made and some other things, essentially 60% of all the independents' money is going to someone else. Your money is going to Beyonce, Taylor Swift, not because those artists want it that way. It's because of the way that the majors structured their deal. It's sort of, you've heard of death by a thousand paper cuts.
Hang on a minute. So I get a song. My song gets 10 million streams. 40. You said 60% of that is going to go to a mainstream artist that had nothing to do with my song.
It won't go down in that way. They won't look like they're taking it out of your thing, but the way that they've structured the deal does that, because the contract that Spotify signed with the three majors, they guarantee in the language of that contract, they had to guarantee that 90% of the money paid out would go to the top 10% of songs streamed. Well, the problem is the top 10% of songs streamed, when you look at overall streaming, right now, the major labels deserve 74% of that money. But in order for them to get the 90%, they got to take the other points out of us. And so they do it through cute math tricks. But the end result is you'll find that you get paid more on these other sites besides Spotify's the worst paying thing. And there's a reason.
And that is where your platform comes in.
Well, so our platform blows the whole thing up. I've tried for about 7 years to work with them. How can I work within the system? And at the end, I said, it's so corrupt, I can't even be a part of it. So I'll go with the Socrates quote, don't fight the old, build the new. So I'm going, let's build our own streaming site. And guess what I'm going to do first? It's a discovery site. Does anybody need to discover Ed Sheeran or Drake or Beyonce or Taylor Swift. No. When their new records come out, we'll all know about it. Let's find the next Drake or Taylor Swift or Beyonce. So that's what I do already. Most of the licenses I get for film and TV are because they can't afford those artists. But they need somebody in the ballpark that has the same feeling, that gets the same emotions. So why not go into music discovery? So there's no major label artist. The other thing we're doing is we have no statutory rate. My deal with the artist is a 50-50 split. I'm going to say, hey, we're going to split the profits. And it's called a user-centric model. So we're not having a math formula. Whoever gets played gets paid. The same amount, everybody equally. So it's not like the tiered system that's out there with everybody else.
So you don't have to get 6 streams to get 1 penny.
Well, so right now it's about 0.003. So if you're getting a million spins on Spotify in Western countries, everything perfect, no ad based, everything paid for subscriptions, they will give you a check for around $3,000. On mine, because of the way we're structuring it, we think we can give you $30,000.
10 times.
Yes.
Here's how we do it. We don't have a normal rate, and we're 50-50 partners. So the average paid Spotify subscriber only listens to like 200 songs. So they basically collect all that money, pay $1 out to the artist, and then more to the major guys, but whatever. But that's kind of where they're at. On ours, we're going, you know what? We don't have a statutory rate, so there's a weird thing. Somebody could log in. I'm an Uncle Ryano fan. They listen to one of his songs and go on vacation. They don't listen to anybody else for the rest of the month. So in our system, we go, well, it cost us $0.25 to do the credit card. We got streaming hosting costs, these things. So it cost us $1 out of that $10 a month. So we got $9 profit, and they only listen to Uncle Ryano. Well, we go, well, you're our partner. We said a 50-50 split, so here's $4.50 for 1 stream for you and the people that did it. We also are going to pay a royalty to all the people involved. We're doubling the songwriting from 10 to 20%. We've got a 20% performing artist royalty. We call it the Aretha Franklin rule. I don't care if you didn't pay for it. I don't care if you didn't write it. If you're singing the SHIT out of it, we're going to give you some respect. How about a 20-point record deal? We're also going, hey, all the guys that worked on it, 8 producer points, 4 points for the musicians, 2.5 for the guys that tracked it, 1 for the guy that mixed it, and 0.5 point for the mastering engineer. And we're going to go, hey, 8 points for the musicians and background singers.
Explain to them what a point is, Barry.
Percentage point. So it's basically our, the 0.003 that we're talking about. That would be our what we're doing for the money that we would give just to the artist and background musicians, the people that actually aren't getting paid at all. We would give them the full Spotify thing and not pay. It's designed, and the songwriters too. It's designed to because songwriting's getting killed. So anyway, we ran all those numbers, and all we need is a chance to prove it. And so we're looking to do that. We're super excited about it. I'm in talks with a bunch of people and looking for other people. I'm so cocky that I'll take a $500,000 loan against my company to launch this. So,
you got to feel confident that that's what, if you're willing to do that.
Yeah. I mean, to me, there's a difference between wagering and gambling. I don't think I'm gambling. We ran the numbers. Let's say that in the next 36 months, I think streaming for music is going to max out at 1 billion people a month. There'll be 1 billion people on Earth that'll pay for streaming. We're over 700 million right now. And that's with all of them combined. And I'm saying that we launch and we are terrible. No one likes us. We get 1.7 million people out of 1 billion. It's a sliver of 1%. We're the hottest place for metalcore and bluegrass. Whoever our fans are, it's not mainstream. Even with those shitty numbers, we're doing $200 million a year with $100 million going to the bands. So if that's failing, I'd like to fail tomorrow.
I think that is a winning.
It does feel like it, Yeah, I mean, I won't be able to buy a yacht to tow my yacht. I'm okay with that. You can't take it with you.
Ryano was wanting to chime in. What did you have, Ryano?
Really, I mean, this thing that Barry's building is a world changer. It's not a game changer. It's a world changer. And speaking as someone that's hit the million stream area, and I didn't even get $3,000. I think I was looking at like 1,700 or something. You know,
that's more normal. Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. And but I don't do it for the ROI. I'm doing it for the people who were always loyal through the decades and people who always were supportive. It's my love back to them. It's the only way I can get to them. And so I think that's really when all these aspiring writers and aspiring singers and performers, I think that's what they're wanting to do. They want to be affirmed. You know, they want to be validated is what they believe in themselves, and they want to be validated and affirmed by their peers and the public. But it's all for a different types of a human connection. And I think what Barry's doing is he's bringing the humanity back into a business that's become so parasitic. It's now falling over because the top got too big while they strangled the roots. And now every time that happens, the tree falls over. And the higher you are, the harder the crash on the way down. The bigger you are, that's no longer your defense anymore, because the bigger you are, the more you have to eat. But when you're little and you are many, you are mighty. And they can't stop you. If I send a rhino like myself charges in, easy takeout. Send, 5 million hornets, every one of them packing a 12 gauge. You can't stop them. You know, that's what's happened now. Barry has he's got a really good, he's dialed this in and educated me. I knew about the big three, but I didn't know what the most current updated percentages were. And Barry, the number one, the biggest piece of a 4-piece global music industry, the biggest one, yes, it's Universal. Ballpark, what is that, 34, 35, plus or minus a couple of percentage, somewhere right in there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then number 2 is Sony, correct?
Yep.
And we're at what, 27%?
Well, we're 26%.
Oh, actually, number 3 is Sony, and number 4 is Warner. Number 2, the biggest sliver of the music global pie, is the indie world, but because it's millions, it's like Lord of the Flies. But what's the one thing that all flies have to do? They've got to eat. So if you set it up where they can actually get fed and it's not feeding off of them, they will come. And this is what Barry is setting up. He's setting up the dinner table. So the second largest piece out of the 4 pieces of the global music industry pie, the indie piece, it's only in the shade of Universal. Barry has tapped into angel fire. He is bringing this in, Greek fire, the fabled thing. That's why I call him Zeus. Y'all know that. If you see Barry, yell Zeus. Okay. This is why I call him this. He didn't even know it, because it's Greek fire. It's been talked about. It's been whispered about, but no one's ever seen it. Come to Springboard. You'll see it. That's what this is. That's what he's trying to build. The world doesn't need more people who sit around and gripe about what's broken or what isn't working. The world needs more people that don't speak at all. They just get up and fix it. That's what we're doing.
What he said.
Wow. That's that guy his speaking is powerful, bro. I'm not even an artist, and I want to become an artist just for that.
I'll teach you guitar.
Well, how you gonna? Well, never mind. I'm not gonna go there. Barry, I know you have got an important phone call you got to make, and you got another meeting set up. We've been a little over 1 hour. I had only asked you for like 30 or 40 minutes, so you have surpassed every expectation that I had on the interview. As always, and I think you're going to be willing to do this. We always get the folks to come back in 90 days, give us the progress on. By that time, all of the festivals will be done. You can tell us all about the East Festival, the Nashville Festival, everything. Ryano, what do you have before we close out with Mr. Coffing?
Thank you, sir. I absolutely got something. I want everybody to know where Barry, see, y'all don't understand something about this man. We talking about how he's helping artists. Well, guess what? There's a certain group of artists that Mr. Coffing is helping tremendously, and y'all need to know about it, and he's going to tell you. Barry just facilitated another station in one of the largest markets in the United States to pick up the Uncle Show. Barry's been working hard for the Uncle Show. Y'all didn't know that. Well, y'all need to see one of probably the absolute beautiful face behind the scenes, the only one, and in front too. And that's Barry Coffing. And tell them what you just facilitated for the Uncle Show and the Tribe, and how you do it at every Springboard as well.
Well, so it's Iconics Radio. They've got an app and everything. They've got Iconics Country and Iconics, their regular station. And so I'm putting them together. They've got 10,000 people that are that have the app and stuff like that. But they also are distributed through other networks, other networks of stations. And if everything goes good, not only will they have the Unk Show, having those things incorporated in on this regular radio station, but that station also reports to Roots Music Reports and stuff like that. So those kind of things can start to chart. And they also will, I think, if everything goes right, get to your Cashbox countdown too, to be on that. So having both of those shows, and it just gives you both a better audience. And they're paying all the royalties, all the BMI and ASCAP stuff, so that anything played on there, any of the songs that you play and stuff, those will all be paid through the PROs and everything. So that makes it even better for what you're doing, because obviously it'll do a lot better than what's going to happen on YouTube.
Barry, we cannot thank you enough for the things that you're doing for indie artists and our shows. And I'm like I said, I'm speechless. I'm very grateful to you. Very grateful for the opportunities that you're opening up for Uncle Ryano and myself and the Tribe Nation.
Well, I mean, I can't believe more in you guys and what you're doing.
That means a lot, bro. That means a lot, man. Normally at the end of the interviews, we play an artist song, but I'm gonna choose my favorite song that you were involved with. You already know where I'm going with that. Here's Jamie Walters on lead vocals from the Fox hit TV show from early 90s, The Heights. How Do You Talk to an Angel? Barry Coffing, appreciate you for being with us, man. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.